What up, AOK Mafia? It's your boy Artofkickz, and just like that, we back with another one. Alright, y'all, so we got another My 600 Pound Life compilation style video here to react to. I know a lot of you guys liked my last video that I did on My 600 Pound Life. I opened up, shared some stuff in regards to my own experience with my family members. Had a couple of family members that were overweight, in particular my mother. Yeah, so I don't want to say too much right now because I'm probably gonna say a lot during the video. But yeah, let's get into it. Let me pull this up right here. Oh wow. Your discretion is advised. Our boys guys ready? I'm ready. Let's go.
Don't resemble a human form.
Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping.
I hope not.
TLC's show, My 600 Pound Life, premiered in 2012 for the first time, and it quickly became popular among the audience. And people started rooting up for their favorite personalities on the show, who were successful in their weight loss journeys. However, the road to success is a very long and hard one, and there are a lot of moments on the program that show that how out of control many of the patients' lives are.
Wait, hold on. Did this woman fall out?
And there are a lot of moments on the program that show that
Did she fall out the vehicle, or is that what they have to do to get her out?
how out of control many of the patients' lives are.
Woo.
So, stay tuned as we count down 10 of the most insane moments from the famous show. Let's begin.
God, look at his
Number 10. By the time Holly had met Dr. Now, she weighed 658 pounds. By the end of the 5th month after Holly started working with Dr. Now, she had only lost 47 pounds. And she admitted that she was having a hard time following the diet plan and sticking to the routine. Fortunately, this was the time when things started to turn around for Holly. After 2 more months, she lost another 47 pounds.
Nice.
And was approved for weight loss surgery.
Oh, wow.
Holly's biggest support in this time was her fiance, Ray, who did all kinds of everyday chores for her, including giving her food and taking care of her hygiene. Holly and Ray even had to move back to Holly's parents' home because Holly's fast food bill used to reach up to $100 a day.
What? This chick was eating $100 a day worth of food. And instead of changing that and not doing that anymore, they decided it would be best to move back to the parents' house so that she can keep up her lifestyle of eating $100 worth of food a day. What sense does that make? That makes no sense whatsoever. $100. You saw they had the guy bringing the food to the house, eating a lot of takeout, eating a whole lot of takeout. I don't know if they realized how much they could have cut that out by spending $100 worth of groceries and this man cooking for her. You would have so much more food. So much more food in the house. Spending $100 in groceries? But shout out to the husband for stepping up and taking care of his wife. Keeping her clean, hygiene wise, feeding her. Shout out to the husband for that. I had to do the same thing with my mother. Uh-oh, what happened? Where you guys go? Y'all still here? There we go.
Make her breakfast with extra eggs and sausages.
Extra.
And then they'd go out immediately after breakfast to get fast food for her second breakfast.
Second breakfast? They eat and then they go out and eat some more immediately after. Oh my, she's not hungry, y'all. This woman is not hungry. She's just eating.
And Holly would eat a chicken breast with gravy, 2 soft pretzel sticks with queso, and some onion rings.
Yeah. See, don't think I'm being judgmental. She's not hungry. I used to do this as well. I would just eat until I was full. It's like you're not satisfied until you're full. Right now I'm working hard to reverse my old habits. My mom, my aunt, they're no longer here. They passed away very young because they didn't take care of themselves. Last year, I was 10 pounds shy of my mom's weight before she passed. It wasn't her worst weight, but it was her weight before she passed. I was 10 pounds shy of that. That's why I'm so hard on myself about getting in shape. Getting back in shape. I've been in shape before. Went to the gym today. Couldn't even do it. My lower back is causing me so much pain that I could barely take 20 steps without feeling this jolting pain going through my back. I've been going to the chiropractor. Chiropractor is focusing on my neck right now because I have an issue in my neck. And then he's going to work his way down to my back. It's been 3 months only on the neck. My back is just all over the place. But the neck is connected, so it's going to help it. But I'm supposed to go hang out with some friends today, do some fireworks stuff. I'm not going to light no fireworks. I can barely bend over.
Number 9. Not every patient could manage to keep up with the weight loss goal set by Dr. Now on the first try.
Oh, yeah.
But most of them realize that it is up to them how they work on themselves to change their lives.
That's it.
In season 7, Angela didn't think like that, and she thought that Dr. Now wanted to punish her for missing her appointment when he told her to lose more weight than the initial plan had so. When she had lost only 45 pounds in 5 months, Angela was shocked that the surgeon was not happy about the number and felt mistreated when she was pointed out that she was just making excuses when she wasn't able to shed the 50 pounds that she was supposed to shed in 1 month. Instead of accepting that it was all because of the lack of her willpower, Angela rudely attacked Dr. Now, saying that if she could lose that much weight on her own, she wouldn't really need him.
Okay. Well, if you expected me to lose 50 pounds every month for 6 months, I wouldn't need you.
It seemed like she didn't realize that it...
I'm gonna be honest. You can't really expect for someone in her condition to know what's best for her. I watch my mother do and say stuff like that, and not be in the best place emotionally, mentally, and physically. But yet she thought she knew what she was talking about. Y'all, I'm gonna tell you right now, when it comes to bettering yourself, you can't assume that you know what's going to be best for you. You can't. You have to constantly be learning what's going to actually work for you, whether it comes to your mental health or your physical health. Because if you knew what was best for you, you wouldn't be having the issues that you're currently having. Simple as that. Speaking from someone who learned the hard way. I'll share more towards the end.
It was her own journey, and she was in charge of it. And when she lost 9 pounds in the coming few weeks, making it a total of 54 pounds in 8 months, Angela was still giving the doctor attitude and making faces like a child at the one person that was trying his best to help her.
I should have never came here.
Number 8.
She said she should have never came here. You went there for a reason in the first place, because you couldn't figure out how to get this weight off you on your own. Or maybe you just didn't have the willpower to even begin. Maybe you needed somebody to tell you the direction that you should be going in, and now you're fighting against it. Now you're fighting against it.
A 44-year-old grandma, Tracy Matthews, was one
Wow, 40, that's a young grandmother. Goodness gracious.
of the most dramatic cases of lymphedema.
Oh my God. Oh my God, I couldn't imagine. Oh my God. Sorry it's taking me a minute to talk, but this has me thinking about my mother. My mother was nowhere near this bad, nothing like this. But at a young age, 44 years old, my mother had needed assistance with walking. She had one of those little, whatever you call them, carts or whatever, that she can walk with, or a cane that she would use to walk. And someone that's 44 years old shouldn't need assistance with walking. My mother, and I'm pretty sure this lady as well, struggles with doing day-to-day things as if they're old, much older, 80s, 90s. They need help because they're not in the right condition to do things for themselves. Wow, I've never seen the case this bad. Look at her feet.
And cellulitis in the history of the show. In 2017, she weighed 605.
Yeah, my mother had one of these. This exact same thing that this lady is using. My mother had exactly one of those.
Pounds.
She weighed how much?
17, she weighed 605 pounds and was not stable enough to undergo surgery until she lost 100 pounds. The problem was that over 400 pounds was stored mainly in her legs.
400 pounds in her legs.
Her husband Anthony would help her get out of bed daily, but also used to eat prohibited foods in front of her, making her crave for it all. One of the worst things he did was that he refused to take her to a much-needed medical checkup and said that he thinks his wife should be more self-reliant if she wanted to get better. Luckily,
I got to that point with my mother. Where I was so frustrated at her for not being self-reliant enough. She proclaimed to be such an independent woman, but she was the most independent woman I've ever seen in my life. I love my mother to death, but she was so dependent upon me that it was like I might as well been her Siamese twin. We was attached at the hip. She wouldn't do anything without me. She wouldn't go to a doctor's appointment, nothing. She wouldn't do it without me specifically being there. And it really irritated me because I wanted her to be independent, really. I couldn't live my own life because she was so dependent on me being a part of hers. And that went on for almost 30 years. 28 to be exact. Or until I was 28.
Tracy was very determined, and after the surgery, her lymphedema also became controllable, and her relationship with her husband also became better.
Exactly. It's funny how that works, but it makes perfect sense. Your relationship with the ones around you become better when you become better, whether it's your physical or your mental health.
Number 7. 33-year-old Maja Donovan was so big that every morning she woke up, she used to be grateful that her body didn't give up on her during the night.
Oh my God. That's scary. That is scary. Every morning she waking up grateful that she didn't pass away in her sleep. That's no way to live. That's how my mother lived from the time I was out of high school. My mother could barely sleep each and every night. I used to be someone that I was a rock when I slept. I used to sleep so hard that no sound, no noise, no nothing could wake me up. When my mom got really sick, I was the most sensitive sleeper. Any type of noise or sound, I was jumping out of bed, running to her aid.
She was very close to being completely bedridden, so she decided to do something about her weight issues. But Maja's first trip to Houston to see Dr. Now turned out to be a pretty horrific experience, because when she got out of the plane, she was given a car that was too small for her to fit into, instead of the SUV they had booked. As she tried to get into the car, she got stuck and fell on the floor. She managed to get up, but broke into tears due to feeling humiliated and embarrassed, as her experience was even recorded on camera for everyone to see on national television.
Oh my God, look at that. Look at that. I know that had to be such a humiliating feeling. She's so big that she fell out of a car that she couldn't fit into. The thing too, you know, some people that are not big, that's never been big, you may think, oh, what's the big deal? All she has to do is lose weight. Go to the gym, walk, do some. Y'all don't know how difficult of a task that is for someone to start that is in pain all the time. Part of the reason why I myself have the back issues that I do is because of my weight. I'm about 80 pounds overweight. You can only imagine the pain that these people go through each and every day. They might not talk about the pain, but just getting out of the bed hurts. Hurts. Whether it be their legs, their back, whatever it may be. They're hurting. I know because my mom used to tell me.
Why are you crying?
Because that was really hard and embarrassing.
Number 6. Janine was one of the most endearing stars of season 6. Janine used an electric scooter to get around as her knees were damaged due to her excessive weight. But that didn't stop.
You know, it's I gotta go back some. You see her legs? You see her legs? I wonder how much fluid is on her legs. My mother had so much fluid on her legs that it got to the point where the fluid was seeping and leaking out of her legs non-stop. I had to clean and bandage her legs about 5 times within a 24-hour span. And she had to go to dialysis. She ended up having to go to dialysis for years to get all the excess fluid out of her body. It was all in her chest, her stomach, her legs, everywhere, her back, everywhere this fluid was. But yeah.
Her knees were damaged due to her excessive weight, but that didn't stop her from eating junk all day long. When she started the program, she would argue with Dr. Now and even lie to him about her diet. She lost a pound after 1 week instead of 1 pound a day, as she had been told. However, one of the most interesting scenes of the episode was when Janine took her scooter to order a large meal of chicken nuggets, as she gave in to her temptation of binge eating. Fortunately, by the end of the episode,
I can't even be mad at these people when they start to binge eat, knowing darn well that they're supposed to be getting in shape. A lot of these people are like me. They're emotional eaters. During my journeys that I've been having over the past 2 years of trying to get back in shape, I do a lot of binge eating. Because the mental struggle that I have with the whole process of getting in shape makes me want to binge eat. Because eating is that happy place for me. But now I'm trying to binge eat healthier things. Like, but
dropped her weight to 566 pounds. Number 5. LaShonda from season 7.
Real quick, you guys, I'm sorry about the slow pace of this video. Usually I'm a lot more upbeat and stuff, but not today.
Weighed 662 pounds and had been bedridden for 2.5 years when she first came to see Dr. Now in
Bedridden for 2.5 years, 600 and what, 60 something pounds? God, I couldn't imagine.
Houston. Following the appointment, this mother of 4 promised that she'd follow the diet plan religiously, but instead ended up eating junk and making a lot of excuses. When LaShonda came back 6 months after her initial appointment, she seemed to be in an even worse condition and was admitted to the hospital for a month due to some serious health issues.
For a whole month, this woman was in the hospital. I remember when my mom first went to the hospital for an entire month. That's when I put on the weight that I currently have. Because I was slim. I was in good shape that month before she went into the hospital. That month after, I came out looking like this. Look at how I currently look. I didn't even realize it until people was like, yo, they were looking at me all strange, staring at me. People that I knew in my neighborhood staring at me like, yo, what the freak happened to you, bro? I was stressed. Didn't know if my mom was going to make it out of that ordeal.
He then discharged her patient, giving her a weight loss goal of 100 pounds in 2 months, but she ended up losing only 3 pounds. When she returned, Doctor was really disappointed and told her that she was done with the program, but LaShonda kept begging him to give her another chance. The bariatric surgeon told her that she could come back if she lost 50 pounds.
You would think that with a lot of these people, the idea that their life is at risk. They're at risk of losing their life in a very short amount of time if they don't get their act together. You would think that would be enough for them to get their act together.
But she'd have to do it on her own this time. It might seem rude to some, but it was a wake-up call that LaShonda needed, and she managed to shed some weight and was accepted back into the program by Dr. Now. Number 4. A fan of the show My 600 Pound Life, Lisa was enormous when she joined the show in 2018. In one scene, Lisa was seen eating a bowl of Fruit Loops, laying in her bed while
She's on her back. This woman is on her back, not sitting up at all, eating these Fruit Loops. Don't choke, lady. God.
medics showed up at her house
Look at this lady. She's looking like, I can't believe what I'm seeing.
with a wheelchair. In another scene, Lisa was telling a story of how her mother punished her into eating an entire cake for swiping a bit of frosting. However, the most alarming scene was when her daughter discovered that literal maggots were living in the folds of her skin. But that was just the beginning. Lisa used to keep ice cream around as a reward for her boyfriend performing sexual favors.
I'm sorry, but I couldn't imagine the smell. Her boyfriend was doing what? She would reward her boyfriend. Or was her boyfriend rewarding her? This woman had maggots in the folds of her skin. Could she not feel that? Them poor kids. I remember when I was in high school, when my mother first got really sick, I flunked out. I was so worried about my mom all the time that I didn't do good in school. When my mom first got sick, my freshman year of high school, I failed every single class my freshman year of high school, except for art class, because I was an artist. I love drawing. But I failed every other class in school. I wonder what her kids are going through, knowing that when they walk out the door, their mom is at home, can't move out of bed. Anything could happen. Anything could happen.
And also threatened that she would commit suicide when Dr. Now didn't take her complaints seriously and refused to follow her diet. Unfortunately for her, it all ended when Dr. Now called her manipulative and kicked her out of the program. Number 3.
This dude is no holds bar, man. He don't take no BS from these patients. He's like, I want to help you, but I can't help somebody that doesn't want to help themselves. What do you expect me to do? We have to do this thing together. You have to do what I ask you, and once you do what I ask you, then I can do the procedure. That goes to show you, you on this planet basically alone when it comes to being the best version of yourself. You can only pull that off by yourself to some degree. You have to first help yourself before anybody else can help you. This is prime example of that.
Stephen Asante is probably one of the first names that would cross your mind when anyone talks about the most insane moment of the show, My 600-Pound Life.
Look at him in there. Oh my God.
As he is not only the show's most notorious patient,
I bet he's the youngest too,
but also the one who took things way too far. He appeared in the show along with his brother Justin,
I remember them now.
who also needed weight loss surgery.
Oh yeah.
But he was the center of attention. At 730 pounds,
730.
he was not only morbidly obese, but he was also addicted to drugs and used to manipulate doctors into giving him painkillers.
Oh wow. You know what? These people that's very, very overweight and obese like this do tend to have tendencies of being manipulative. I think this is this man's home. You see the bed that he has? It got to the point where I had to get my mother one of these type of beds. I know I'm speaking a lot on my mother. Y'all gotta understand, like, I don't live the life that I used to live. So when I see certain stuff, it brings back memories that I have suppressed over the past 5 years, because those were very, very hard times in my life. And I forget, because those memories are so suppressed, I forget certain elements and aspects of what my life was with my mom, and what our life was. But my mom was very, very manipulative as well. Like I tell you guys, I love my mom to death, love her to death. But my mom was extremely, extremely manipulative. She was very, very good at it. And you look at these people, and a lot of them are in relationships. They either have boyfriends or they have girlfriends. Whichever one it is, they're in relationships. And you wonder how these people can stay in their life. How these people don't just leave. A lot of times these people, when I say these people, I mean these people that are overweight, pick people that they know they can manipulate. Because those people will stay. The ones that they can manipulate, those people will stay. Maybe you thinking, hell man, they're just a good-hearted person. This is like, they don't want to see anything bad happen, so they're staying, they're sticking around. But what you don't see is the manipulation tactics that these people use on them to get them to stay around. When I was 28 years old and I told my mother that I couldn't do it anymore, that I couldn't take care of her because I wasn't taking care of me, when I told her I couldn't do it anymore, was the day that she had a stroke and died. The very next day after I told her that I was out, I thought she was trying to manipulate me once again to stay. Because my plan was to get out the door, get in my little 2-seater car and drive, just go with no direction, nowhere to go, no place to stay, just go. I was going to live in that little 2-seater car with my new job that I had just acquired at that time and just be gone. I just couldn't take it anymore. But the next day, my mother was very sick. I had to rush her to the hospital, and I thought it was a manipulation tactic because she hadn't done it before to try to get me to stay. So I ignored what was really happening. The doctors didn't even know what was happening. They didn't know that she had a stroke. It took them almost a week to find out, to figure it out. But she was already gone.
His games were going on for so long that all the hospitals in the area had been notified that he had been abusing the system, so that he could not get his hands on any further pain medications, and doing so would land him in jail. His rebellious attitude made it very difficult for the doctor to get him on the right track, and Dr. Now got so tired of him that he was ready to give up on him. He then got into trouble for trying to get opioids, and was kicked out of the weight loss program and sent to rehab. There, Stephen ended up gaining more weight and reached over 750 pounds, but later managed to lose some, and the doctors agreed to perform the surgery. Number 2. Pauline was recorded as the world's heaviest woman in the Guinness Book of World Records.
That's nothing to be proud of, man. They shouldn't even have that in the Guinness Book of World Records, man. They shouldn't have that in there. This woman got a big old smile on her face like, I made it to the Guinness Book of World Records. I'm proud. I was able to accomplish or achieve something. It just shows how lazy you were. That's like getting the Guinness Book of Record for being the laziest person on the planet. Literally, that's the award. That's what they should have called it.
In 2011, which is why she appeared in the show, weighing 678 pounds at that time.
Look at her. You see, this is what I'm talking about, you guys. This is what I'm talking about. The pain. It takes so much for her to just get up out the seat.
She appeared in the show, weighing 678 pounds at that time.
You see the pain on her face? There's no way to live.
Her health was suffering due to it, but she was still ignorant about the issue and even said that Dr. Now was over.
Yo, she got out of bed easier than I can get out of bed right now. Goodness gracious, she did that quick. She got up.
Suffering due to it, but she was still ignorant about the issue and
I can't even get out of bed that easy right now, not with this back injury.
Even said that Dr. Now was overreacting when he wanted to hospitalize her. She continued to be obstinate even after her weight loss surgery.
You see this bed? She has one of these beds too. Man. My mother used to sleep on the living room couch in a very strange position for years before she got a bed like this. She would sleep with her. All right, let's take the couch, right? Let's say that let's say my hand is a couch and this is the arm of the couch. She would sleep with her knees like in the corner of the couch, and the back of the couch, this part, she would like lay on top of it like this, and that's how she would sleep. She would sleep like on her knees, laying on the corner of the couch, with her butt tooted up in the air, because she couldn't lay on her back because she wouldn't be able to breathe, because she had so much weight and so much fluid and all this type of stuff on her back, on her chest. So she would feel like, oh my, I'm suffocating. I can't lay on my back. I can't breathe. So she slept like that for 10 years. From the time I graduated high school at 18 to the time that I was 28 years old, she slept like that. Or no, like the last year she started sleeping in her bed, but she had a bed like this. It's crazy. Like, no, well, heck, no, the first 2 years after I graduated high school, and I didn't even realize at that time just how sick my mom was, and she was so stubborn she didn't even go to the hospital. And I was young, I was so dumb. The hallway outside of my bedroom, we had the washer and dryer connection right there. And my mom would just lay on top of the washer and dryer, just standing up, but just leaning over the washer and dryer and sleep. And she slept like that for over a year, I think 2 years. When she was tired, she would go to the hallway, stand straight up, and just lean on the washer and dryer and sleep for like 2 years. And obviously I thought it was a very strange thing that she was doing. I wasn't really, tuned in with her enough to understand why she felt the need to do that. But now that I'm older, I'm realizing just how sick she was even back then and how much she really needed to change her life. Man, it was hard on both of us. Like I said, it's crazy. There's so many thoughts and memories that have been suppressed over the years that it's just now coming back. It's coming. That was 12 years ago.
Repeatedly butting heads with Dr. Now. Number 1. Ashley Bratcher started her weight loss journey at the weight of 725 pounds, which meant that she needed help with almost everything in day-to-day life. Her husband Jacob was a truck driver, which meant that she was often at home alone or with their 6-year-old son Patrick, who had to take care of.
You see that? That's no way to live. Just going from one room in the house to the next and flopping on the couch, and she can barely fit on the couch, and she's just struggling. Did y'all see the look on her face when she sat down? It was like, it was so hard for her to do that.
Or with their 6-year-old son Patrick, who had to take care of his mother.
I would not want to live that way. You heard that? 6-year-old Patrick has to take care of his mother. She is supposed to be taking care of him.
with their 6-year-old son Patrick, who had to take care of his mother.
Oh my God! Please, parents, please do not put your kids through this. You don't know what it can do to their mental health. I'm living proof. I'm a living example of that.
The poor boy had to do the family's laundry and prepare food for his mother too, and it was pretty shocking to see a small child do all the house chores by himself. Ashley was guilty about this, and giving his son his childhood back was her goal, which motivated her to shed a whole 123 pounds within the first 4 weeks of the program, which was twice as much.
Giving her son his childhood back. I remember I had to tell my mom that. I had to tell my mom, like, Mom, I need my life back. She didn't even realize. She was like, damn. She's like, I didn't even know I did that to you.
Dr. Now had told her to lose. However, Ashley struggled with her physical and mental health all this while, and also had to get her gallbladder removal surgery, which caused her to gain weight again. Ultimately, she managed to turn things around for good and dropped about 470 pounds,
Woo!
which is around 65% of her peak body weight.
Woo!
Incredible, isn't it? Thank you all for this video. Tell us in the comments what...
She dropped so much. She dropped 65%. Oh, so. Oh, my goodness. Man, I almost made it through the end without shedding a tear, but the memories. I'm telling y'all, like, sitting here watching this, stuff is coming back to me. So much is coming back to me that I forgot about, man. I am so... I feel wrong saying that I'm grateful or appreciative to not be where I was before, but at the same time, like I said, it feels wrong because my mother had it 10 times worse than I did. I was just experiencing it with her. She lived it. It was her life. I miss her. I wish she was still here, but not under those circumstances. I'd rather her be at peace like she is now than to still be here living the way she was. I'm happy that she's no longer suffering. And truth be told, I'm also happy that I'm no longer suffering. Again, y'all, I apologize. This is not usually how I do these videos, but a lot of feels. I'm gonna have the link to this video down in the description box below, but I'm gonna get out of here now. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. See ya.